All Advancing Prefab stories are brought to you by Mandeville Modular.
We're at Advancing Prefab 2026, and we're here with our sponsor, Mandeville Modular. Hi, Heith. How are you today?
I'm excellent. And yourself?
So good. And for many of you that may not know, Heith is the CEO at Mandeville Modular, which is a steel frame modular factory in California. And as we're talking through the process of being a modular factory owner, there's so many different pieces to the puzzle, right? We've got the land, we've got the developer, we've got the build. Let's talk a little bit about logistics. Okay. How are you seeing the transportation and the setting up of the modules for you? How does that system look for you?
Well, that's funny you say that, because that's one of the main things we think about when we were designing our system. It's great to build something, but how do you get it there and how do you put it in its final location? Understanding that it transfers through many hands. We offer installation as part of our system to our clients, but some clients may want to have that installation themselves or coordinate their own logistics. So, for example, when we designed our mod, we designed critical pick points that are where you lift the mod from. It's kind of like if you get a box from any store, fridge or TV, they'll tell you where to lift it from. We do the same thing with our modular units, identifying that. So there's no confusion when you're picking the mod or loading it on a truck, where to clamp it down. And that's the difference with what we do and the thought process we put into it.
I love that you said that you actually are fully integrated to being able to do that.
Yeah.
And then also knowing that there's other people out there that might want to have a service that comes in, and it's great to be able to do both.
Correct.
In order for you to look at the builds and know what the modules are getting set up, do you guys create your own sequencing in order to have that effective?
We do. We set up an install kind of guidelines. So it's like a cheat sheet, as we call it, to installing the mods in regards to sequencing when they show up on site, what mod goes where. Because uniquely when you're putting this together, if you put the wrong mod in first, it could complicate the whole assembly of your system and your building. So we try to eliminate that by creating the cheat sheet that we do. And we also follow our mod to the site. We have a rep that will go, even if we're not installing it, they'll accompany them there to assist whoever's setting the mods and putting it together to ensure the client gets the product that they expected and the design that they entrusted us to do for them.
I think that's a really big key, having a person on site, because as you go through the process with your developer, your builder, your GC, everybody's learning it through the whole entire ecosystem of the build, right? It's new, or maybe it's a repeat customer. But the most critical point of building is the set and the stitching of that product on site, right? Wouldn't you think that that's like an integral part of the success story?
100%. It's great to see it in a factory environment and see it all complete, but when you're putting it together, you're connecting all your mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. It has to be set up where it's plug and play, and that's our thought process. It's plug and play, and that's a critical component. You don't want to have a finished product that you can tell where you mated the mods together. So the steps that we take in the factory to ensure that when it's set and it's sewn together, the client walks in and no one could tell what the infrastructure of that building was. It's just a beautifully designed building, and that's our goal.
I love that. And Heith, you do so many different types of building. You do like 16 units. I mean, how many units? What's your largest project that you've put together?
Well, right now we're designing a 39-story high-end hotel in Hawaii. And that's going to be our largest project to date that we've done. We are doing a 43,000 square foot navigation center for the city of San Bernardino. So this mimics like an auditorium or a classroom. And that's the largest open air space that we've done.
It's incredible. And those are big projects.
Yes.
How have you found getting together? Have you guys, when you walk into projects like that, do you guys typically have your whole pre-construction team all kind of sitting around the table to talk through it? Or can you take us through, like, how does it start from beginning to end on a project of that scale?
Yeah, so for us, it's like, we always tell a client, we like to start from a cocktail napkin component. Then we bring our whole team together, whether it's our internal team, outside consultants that we bring into the fold. We like to put the brightest minds that we have, that we've worked with, together on your project to ensure that the design and the final product is exactly what you wanted. So yes, we do a lot of collaboration, which is key to ensure that your project is successful, because one person can't build it. The key thing is team, and that team has to all be on the same page.
It's a big deal.
Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm. So kind of circling back into the logistics side, do you work with a whole bunch of different transportation companies? Do you guys have your own? How do you work that whole component?
So for us, we have a transportation company that, let me back up. When we're looking for a transportation company, we're looking for a company that takes pride in what they do. And what I mean by that, we don't want to say, hey, we have a mod that weighs this much and it's this long, and they just bring equipment that can support that weight and length. We want someone that brings equipment that not only supports that weight and length, but accommodates the modular building that has to stay on a level, flat plane. And that's what we do when we evaluate different logistical companies prior to contracting them to deliver the product for our client.
I love it. There's always so much approach, standardization. There is a system, a process to each part of the build for you. Yeah. And I think that's what particularly makes you such a success story, Heith, is that you truly not only try to build these systems and have great success that way, but you're also looking for collaborative partners to have that success.
100%. Collaboration is key. I think that's what's going to allow this industry to really blossom and grow as it should. We're in the modular space. What I've noticed throughout the years is everyone's kind of closed off. Someone has a great idea and they want to keep it to themselves. Well, that doesn't foster growth. You think of any industry that's just grown and blossomed. It's all about collaboration, sharing ideas, sharing different components that you've utilized, that you've had success with, so that they can have success. And then you continue to innovate from there. We know that we have a great product, but that doesn't mean it's the best product. So we learn from others. The day you stop learning is a day you're not going to have any growth take place, and even in your personal life.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I love that. Growth, innovation, collaboration. That's what you're going to get at Mandeville Modular. Thank you, Heith.
You're welcome.
Have a great day, and make sure you check us out at Offsite Dirt Network, and that's the dirt on Offsite Dirt.
Thank you to Mandeville Modular for supporting our industry.